I've made a couple of new additions to the Neocaridina shrimp playground, and they're awesome. So first up, we've got these mineral rocks here. Well, that's very bright. I can't help that though, because they're pure white. They will sort of dull and get a little bit of algae on them, that sort of thing. And as you can see just behind it, that is Subwassertang. How do you even say that? But yeah, I've never had that plant at all before, and we've got it there on the steel mesh. I'm just going to leave it like that and let it grow on it. And I've also got another one on this side. Now I'm going to be doing a new tank soon for the new Neocaridina Riley shrimp that I've got. They're going to be going above. So I'm going to take one of those out and put it in there, and probably some of those rocks as well. But for the time being, perfect in this setup. Everything's going great in here, by the way. I've not lost a single shrimp, well, that I know of. I mean, I suppose one could have perished and the others eaten it, but probably not. I've been doing daily feeding, just tiny little amounts, and that seems to be working a treat. And if you remember, I had the planarian here, added in the treatment for it, and all the snails are fine. Some of you are worried about that, but thankfully, yep, nothing happened. Snail's good. And then right next to it, of course, we've got the brand new Axelrod no filter ecosystem aquarium. And the fish have now settled into this tank beautifully as well. They've got nice colours on them. Are we showing up the colours? Guys, show the colours. Yeah, and they just seem really chilled. They're not even like spooked out. Look at this. Love it. And this tank is just going to get better and better and better. I can just already see it. I know we're off to a winner with this one already. It looks smart from the start, but it's going to look so much better in just a few weeks' time as well. So it's a new year, and I think it's time to reevaluate things, especially concerning the Discus. So as many of you know, I lost a Discus recently, and it's kind of got me thinking. So my channel's evolved quite a bit over the last year, and I've sort of found what I'm into the most and what I'm not. So this right here is my self-sustaining, no water change ecosystem. And it's kind of become the epitome of everything I love about aquariums. Everything that I'm really into, and something that I'm really good at as well. Now, I don't mean that in some kind of like cocky or arrogant way at all. What I mean is I've messed up a lot of times, done research, but mainly just through trial and error, to be honest, come up with a system now that's working really good in lots of other tanks. Now, naturally, we're drawn to stuff that we're good at, and that's how people sort of excel in certain areas in life. That's how I sort of have in terms of filmmaking and aquarium creation, that kind of thing. And nowadays I've completely and utterly fallen for this idea that we can just have these aquariums like this one here with just a little power head in the back, and then plants just providing everything we need. All I have to do to this aquarium, for instance, is just clean the glass a little bit every now and again, sprinkle a little bit of food, and the plants take care of everything else for me. And that, to be honest, is the complete opposite of what goes on in a Discus aquarium. To give the fish the best life they need, you're supposed to be doing really regular water changes, like minimum substrate, keeping the tank really simple, and feeding an absolute ton. Now, for a while, I tried to not do that because I thought, well, you know, it works with all my other fish tanks, deep sand bed, you know, loads of plants, nitrates of a decent level, enough to grow the plants, but that's not actually the best environment for these fish. And we've got to do what's best for the fish, right? So today I'm going to be giving them away to someone who is an absolute expert in everything. You guys know him pretty well. It's Matt from Maidenhead Aquatics. He's going to be taking them for his own personal tank. Now, Matt doesn't have at home anything like the amount of tanks that I've got to run, and is more than willing to be doing what is required for these beautiful fish. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is drain down the water level so that I can catch them. I'm going to put them in a bucket, purely because a bucket is round and it's going to stop them sort of going bang and booming into things. And then I can put shrink wrap all over the top to lock everything down, tape it all shut, everyone will be safe. It's only going to be a very short time as well. The shop isn't actually that far from me. Now I just want to be completely real with you for a second. The absolute reason I've decided to give away the Discus is because every time I come in that door every morning, since we lost the other one, I'm constantly worried there's going to be another dead fish in the bottom, and it's absolutely destroying the hobby for me. Like, I don't want to be coming in here every morning and being worried about what I'm going to see. How can I give the best care if I'm not enjoying them? And I think that is why ultimately the best decision is to move them on. And yeah, they're going to be sorely missed, and I've had a really nice time with them over the past year and a half, year and a quarter, something like that, but it's definitely time. So I've cling filmed or shrink wrapped everything. It's all taped around the edges as well, so that's actually a firm lid if you like. There's no air holes or anything, it's not on the water leaking, but we're literally going to be 15 minutes or so, it'll be absolutely fine. And then Matt, we had to put him in a tank. I think either he's going to take him home or leave him in the store till he goes home later, I'm not sure. But anyway, let's get you guys off to your new home. There he is, a wild Matthew,
yeah, I don't know.
doing real work stuff. Hello.
How we doing?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, so I have brought you the Discus, Matt. We're down here.
Bless them.
Like, I know that you've kept Discus before, haven't you?
I've got a few at the moment.
Well,
Yeah.
you've got a few, and you are an expert in all things fish related.
Yeah. Oh, look at them. Yeah,
how
they're
we
all
doing?
good. Yeah, they're good.
He's laying down at the moment, but he's fine. He's
Yeah.
just being dramatic.
Yeah, it's just been a bit stressy. I'll make sure they've got a good home. We'll probably pop them in here for today, let them settle in here for a week or so to get them feeding, because obviously I'm not going home for a few hours, so
Yeah.
I won't keep them in the bucket. But yeah, we've got a big sump tank with Discus already in it,
Sweet.
so we'll pop them in there and we'll...
I've been power feeding them for the past like 2 weeks. So they've been chunking up, but they need some more chunking up, so I'll just continue to power feed them if we can.
Yeah, we've got loads of food that goes into that reservoir, so yeah, that'll be good for them.
Sweet. They're not being fed today though, because I didn't want to foul it all in the bucket
no.
and stuff, so yeah.
No, best not to on a day that you're transporting fish.
Sweet. Right, I'm just talking to Matt then, just saying I dewormed the Discus a month ago, but like it says, some places it needs deworming really regularly. Some places say that it doesn't, only if you introduce a new thing. What's your thoughts on that?
It's a tricky one because I always err on the side of caution with if you've put something new in there, if you've put new fish in there, then yeah, it's probably worth having a look at worming them. You know, in theory, they can stress out and they can get skinny, so it is always worth having wormer on hand. I never treat as a regular thing. I don't always write every month I'll treat with that because in theory, everything could get used to it, the parasites included. So, you know, they might even build up an immunity to the wormer.
A bit like we are with, what do they call it? Antibiotics.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks to Cheryl. Yeah, but yeah, exactly the same sort of thing. I wouldn't want my fish to build up, or the problems with the fish to build up an immunity to a treatment, because then you're just going to have to find a stronger treatment that's going to be more stressful for the fish. So I only ever treat when it's needed or when it's necessary, really.
Okay. Well, yeah. So they've been done. Then they've
Should
been
be good.
like I say, I just need them. I've been power feeding them to bring up some of the weight because I've noticed they're on the skinny side. That's really working well, so they're getting really good thickness to them, but just, yeah. He is a beauty, isn't he?
He is lovely.
It is a he, I'm pretty sure. So, very recently, I, see the back edge, there's normally the spike.
Yeah.
I took off my power head recently, I turned it off because I've noticed that their back fins are getting a bit rough as well.
Yeah.
And they've started healing right up. I'm not sure which one that is. So that's the good one. Those two, I'm pretty sure, are pairing up.
Oh, nice.
But the other two, they've been slightly bullied, you see. And I'm not sure if the back fins are. Oh, great! I'm not sure if the back fins are from the stress or if it was from the power head. But anyway, I've turned the power head off and they started getting really good now. See, they were worse than that back fin.
Yeah.
But now it's getting a lot healing. So I don't think it was stress. I think it was just that wave maker getting caught in the impeller. Okay. Nice big tank from down here, look. So they look tiny in this tank.
Yeah.
What size is this, Matt? It's
This
6
is
foot.
A 5 foot by 2
foot.
foot by 2 foot.
Okay, cool.
And obviously only 2/3 full at the moment.
Yeah, looking good. No fish. So it's now the next day and it is odd coming in and them not being here, but it definitely feels like there's a big load off of me. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I wasn't enjoying them so much. But it's good to know they're going to such a great home and they could be really well looked after. Now what about this tank? I don't particularly want to sit there staring at this, obviously. I'm all about progression, moving on, and I think clearing out the tank is the best bet. And the perfect thing is, I'm about to be setting up a new tank for Cories only, and in this tank we've got loads of babies actually, and adults. The babies have all been bred in this tank, which is really nice. You know, it's also, we've had some ups, we've had some downs in here, but it's given back as well, isn't it? We've got stir by Cories down there, we've got 2 of those, we've got quite a few albino, and we've got bronze Cories as well. They're all hiding at the back at the moment. Once we get all of this out, there's an albino in the middle there. Once we get all this out, we'll know what numbers we've got. I can put them in a little storage tank as well then. Hello, little buddy. So cute little Cories, aren't they? Yeah, I could put them, I'm probably going to trim this up a little bit, this one down here, and put them in there, because very shortly they'll have their own new sort of big tank. Now before I do anything, I want to take out some of the bigger ramshorn snails. I absolutely love snails and I want to reuse them. There's quite a few dotted around the big ones. And I'll try and scrape some of the medium-sized ones as well, but there's a lot of babies. We can't take all of you with us. Right, I've had an idea for getting off, say, all of these little ones. I'll take a ruler and just sort of slide it up. Hopefully that works. Yay, it did work. Come on, off you get. Go loads of little baby snails now. So we have got all the water out, and we have actually got quite a good number of Cories in here, so they're going to be awesome in that new tank. Look, see, there's a juvenile, there's the adults all together, there's loads of juveniles dotted around as well. Different generations actually, some are smaller than the others. I'm looking forward to setting up a nice scape for these guys, plus new additions as well. Right, I've got a little tub full already down there. Now, obviously I was going to put them in this tank, wasn't I? But if I put them in there, there's like 0 chance of finding them again. So instead, I'm going to put them in this one, which isn't much better if I'm honest, but you know, I just feel like this one I don't care. It's quite easy just to, it looks more dense than it is what I'm trying to say. It's just a little bit of sage carpeting. So they'll be absolutely fine in there, just whilst we're doing the new build. The new build is going there. That's coming out of the way. Just about to get started actually after we've cleaned this tank and moved these fish. Now obviously there's a much higher bioload in this tank now than there was before, because all we had was a few Amana shrimp, and yeah, that's about it really. So I'll be doing water testing on this every day and just making sure it's good. If it's not, water changes. That's all you've got to do. Keep up with those water changes, everything will be good. Okay, so that was several hours of work condensed into one, but I'm really happy. We're in a good place now, and I'm so looking forward to where we're going to be going with this tank in the next few weeks or so. I've got an idea of something really cool I want to do with this tank. Stay tuned, more coming soon.